I don't know about you, but all those plastic bags add up fast at our apartment. I like to reuse them as garbage sacks, but they just multiply out of control. But now they have cluttered our kitchen for the last time because we can now neatly store our leftover grocery bags in this handy organizer. Today I will share with you this super simple project to help you organize your life. The supplies. I used a leftover scrap of cotton fabric, coordinating thread, extra elastic, in my case it was 1/4 inch elastic, and then the supplies for measuring and cutting the fabric. This was my first and only attempt at this project, which proves its simplicity. However, I have learned that I would change some of the ways I made the organizer. First of all, 18 by 11 inches probably isn't large enough. The 18-inch length will do, but I would suggest cutting the width closer to 13 inches to 15 inches. This way you can fit more grocery bags in your finished organizer. My finished product can hold up to 9 grocery bags. I started this project with the full intentions of having finished edges. Without a serger in my possession, I chose to use a French seam to encase the raw edges. Depending upon your skill level or your personal preferences, you can choose to sew a straight seam and leave raw edges, use a serger, or follow suit and use a French seam. If you choose the latter, fold and pin the fabric with the wrong sides together, folding hot dog style or with 18-inch sides together. Now it's time to sew. Sew using a 1/4 inch seam allowance or your personal preference. Just remember to keep this seam allowance small. So earlier this year there was a little mishap with my previous roommate and my iron. Let's just say that gravity still works on irons. Therefore, when I started this project, I needed to improvise to press this seam. Thankfully, I have a straight iron for my hair, which will do the job. If you choose to do the same, please remember to keep in mind the temperature of your hot iron. I would not suggest using it on any fabric besides cotton. Take caution. Now press the seam. Return to the sewing machine to sew the seam that will encase the raw edges. I used a 1/2 inch seam allowance, but if you are confident, you could probably get away with a 3/8 inch seam. Now that your French seam is complete, you need to work on the remaining edges. Fold, pin, and sew at 1 inch or the width needed to encase your elastic. In my case, I got lazy and decided not to finish the raw edges, but chose a zigzag stitch to better secure the fabric. Don't forget to leave an opening for your elastic to be fed through. Repeat on opposite ends. Now work on the strap used to attach your organizer to a doorknob or handle. I cut mine at 3 inches by 12 inches. 2 inches would probably work just as well. Now fold right sides together, sew, and turn out. Top stitch down center. This is mostly for looks and will not affect function if you choose not to do the same. Sew the 2 ends together and you have created your loop. You could definitely secure your handle while sewing your seam. However, I did not think of that at the time, so I simply attached it near the top opening, but below my elastic so as not to interfere. Use a safety pin to feed the elastic into the encasement. Cut the elastic to desired length and sew ends together. In my case, the elastic was cut between 4 and 5 inches. And there you have it. A very simple project that you can change to fit your style or skill level.